Welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Tri-F Podcast, where we try not to mess the podcast up. How are you guys today?
What's up, man?
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm great.
You're great? Awesome.
Yeah.
Is Rumble working?
Yeah, I'm a little distracted here, so let me see. I'm looking. It should be working.
Sweet.
It should be working. We're on there.
Sweet. Yay.
It should be working. We're on there.
We got Rumble going.
We got Rumble going. We're professional. We're moving up in the world. Holy moly. How about that?
I had an echo for a second, but I think it's all good now.
Yeah, that was me playing the
Oh, okay.
Oh, and plus I've got it up secondary to listen in for any mic not being there.
I'm proud of us. Look at us multi-streaming like
Dang,
we know
I just
what
got
we're doing.
a Rumble notification for Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, boys.
Sweet.
I'm gonna jump off of here and go watch that.
Well, don't go anywhere.
I'll bet you'll like it.
All right, sweet action. Okay, so tonight we are going to be discussing, well, first of all, we screwed up the audio last week. So we're going to read 7 and 8 again, and then we're going to read chapter 9. And it'll take as long as it takes. Yeah, it better be working.
6, 7?
6. Oh my gosh, my kid is saying 6, 7.
Really? That's hilarious.
It's depressing. It's like, oh,
do it back to her. You have to do it back to her, and then she'll get
6,
tired.
7. Okay. Well, yes, right.
Serious.
Once Dad does it, it becomes lame. I forget about that.
Right.
I have that superpower.
Yeah,
Trump card.
You gotta use it in context, though.
Right. Oh yeah, Jess is a middle school teacher, so she hears 6, 7 all the time.
Yeah.
But that's irritating.
Yeah, when the parents start doing it back, man, it totally pulls the rug out from under them. They're like, I don't even think this is cool anymore.
Yep.
Hearing you say it, it's really stupid.
Yeah.
Yep, I did it to my niece in Texas, and she stopped with me after that. Because I did it for like a whole day straight.
Yeah. Just wear it out.
Over and over and over all day long.
Oh, your children hold you in contempt. Isn't it wonderful? All right. So yeah, first we're going to go over we're going to do our Bible reading. And then we are going to review Van Helsing, the movie that came out in 2004. Kind of, since the book's coming out, I guess we're on a vampire kick for a while. Until February.
We're kicking vampires.
We're kicking vampires.
Oh, that sucks.
Dad joke. All right. So, and then after that, Mike Winger just came out with another video. We haven't done anything with Mike Winger in a while. You know, he was right about Brandon Biggs, and I was wrong. I still think Mike Winger. He was the one that refuted Brandon Biggs.
Mike Winger and who else?
Brandon Biggs.
Who was right about Brandon Biggs?
Mike Winger. Oh, wow. Oh, you. If you want to rub salt in that wound. Yeah, that's how kind of you. Thank you for your charity. So
you're welcome.
Uh-huh.
Would you like to watch any Brandon Biggs videos?
We could, but I'm sure the audience would. I'm gonna say the audience doesn't want to watch it. Yeah, no, I still got that on my Google Chrome. That good morning, church family. I'm like, oh my gosh. Every time I get on Google Chrome, it just pops up. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I just want to get my
that.
polisher after his head,
Well, you guys could interview him. He lives right near you guys.
We'd have to tie him up and then polish his head because it's going to hurt.
Use some turtle wax.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, so Mike Winger was right about Biggs. I was wrong. I'll own it. And then I still think he was wrong about Michael Brown, though. And then he did one on Todd White. And then he's got another guy he's talking about tonight. So I thought we would review that. And that'll be our evening. So are you boys ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm go to the ready.
Okay, so we're going to start off by trying to do a speed run here of Genesis 7. So, and the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, and thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep sin alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him, into the ark because of the waters of the flood. Of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went in two and two unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth, in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken open, and the windows of heaven were opened. Now, last week...
Hey. Remember... No,
Hey.
okay, so remember last week we had a conversation about this, the Great Deep.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it actually says it in this.
Yeah.
So did we get any of that conversation aired?
Unfortunately...
Because that was pretty fun.
It's on the live only. We lost the after recording.
No, it wasn't that. It was that my audio was off. So
your
all they were
audio
hearing
was
was
off.
Cody's end, and then my end was completely blank. So they had no idea what I was saying. And since I talked the most, it was a lot of dead air. So
Did you want to go back through that about the source water and all that?
yes. Go ahead and bring
Okay.
that up again. So tell us about the source water.
Okay. Well, it mentions the Great Deep, and so I something got me started on this snowball last week, and I don't remember what it was, but okay, so like source water in the beginning, like from the Great Deep, this water was more gel-like, right?
Right.
A higher viscosity. And so like there's a lot to this, but I'm just going to try to hit some key points. So like in your veins, there's what they call easy gel, and it makes your veins where they can easily pump blood. Because if you took a pump and put it in your chest and tried to pump all the way out to these fingertips, like you're going to blow out your vessels right here. So that in your veins, there has to be this easy gel that helps everything kind of flow through.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, like the source water was that, I think. I mean,
Okay.
it's like the Earth's version of that. Okay.
Gotcha.
Like the older you get, the more your easy gel in your veins and stuff deteriorates. And same thing with the Earth. So,
Okay.
but like water is the oldest thing that we have in the world,
Yeah.
right? Because it doesn't just get destroyed; it just changes forms and it recycles. Itself.
Right. Yeah. And
So our waters wore out, basically.
Yeah, last week you were saying that there's like this pure, there's a pure version of water at the various deepest levels of the ocean, and because I guess the salt
Great
rises.
Deep.
Yeah, the Great Deep, and basically.
Well, you can't make sense of this with the globe thing. So
sure you can.
In Hebrew
Why
cosmology. Well, if you look at Hebrew cosmology, how they've got it drawn out, it's like the Great Deep is like under everything. Whereas like with the globe model, the middle of the earth is like lava. So there can't be water there. There can't be source water there.
Well, see, I was under the impression there was a lot more groundwater at the beginning. See, because we talked last week about liquefaction. The fountains of the deep broke open. So that would indicate that what actually flooded the 40 days and 40 nights of rain was a consequence of something else. Like it wasn't the cause of the flood. It was a secondary instance probably produced by the fountains of the deep breaking open. A lot of water coming onto the surface of the earth at once. But whatever the case may be, basically whatever caused the flood was a seismic event. It was something like either something hit the earth and caused an earthquake, or an earthquake just happened for whatever reason. But basically there was an earthquake. There was a fissure that broke open as a result of that earthquake, and then you had liquefaction, where the water, all the water underground, shot up at the same time. And there's a
Yeah.
theory in creationism called rapid plate tectonics that kind of explains how you start from like a Pangea-like planet to what we have today quickly as opposed to millions of years. Like there's a lot of different theories as to how it happened. But the idea is that, the great deep, I always understood it to be like the groundwater, like, the stuff under the earth, the water under the earth.
Yeah,
that
but
came
if you
to the
dig a
top.
well, right now that's 2,000 feet deep, you're still going to get shit water. You're not going to get source water.
That's true. But that wouldn't have been the case 2000 whenever the flood happened. So,
What's up, sweet baby Bronson? Thank you for being here.
what's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you.
I don't know if there's anything else on that.
That's an interesting idea, though. I hadn't thought about it. It made sense that there would be like, I found it intriguing, that there would be like clean, pure water under the ocean at the deepest levels. I found that interesting.
Oh, that was something interesting. So like at the bottom of trenches and stuff, we'll have two different kinds of water. Did you look into that?
I haven't looked into it, but I remember you bringing it up last week. So
I mean, you've seen like, is it the Bering Sea that splits?
Marianas Trench.
No.
Is that what you're referring to? No.
There's a spot, I think it's the Bering Sea, where it's like brown water on one side and clear water on the other side, and they don't mix.
Oh, yes, I've seen pictures of that, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Let me look that
So
up.
same concept, but it's like at the bottom of the ocean, you'll have this lake that you can't like get through. It's like pliable, you know what I mean?
Yeah, water not mixing. Let's see if I can pull that up. Stop it. I don't need your help, AI. Thank you. All right, so we got some pictures of it here. Come on. So, so you've got these two types of water here. Is this what you're referring to?
Yes.
Gulf of Alaska.
And they'll probably say it's because of salt content.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
You want me to start reading it?
If you want to, if you're interested in it.
Okay, yeah. A picture from the Gulf of Alaska that has been making the rounds on the internet for the last few years, though particularly in recent weeks, shows a strange natural phenomena that occurs when heavy sediment-laden water from glacial valleys and rivers pours into the open ocean. There in the Gulf, the two types of water run into each other, a light, almost electric blue merging with a darker slate blue. Informally dubbed the place where two oceans meet, the explanation for the photo is a simple one, though there are many misconceptions about it, including that catchy title. In particular, one popular link sharing a website, Reddit, where users have on multiple occasions erroneously attributed the photo's location as where the Baltic and North Sea meet, and the two types of water are completely incapable of ever mixing, instead perpetually butting up against each other like a boundary on a map. You also may have seen a variation on the photo featuring the same phenomena taken by photographer Kent Smith while on a July 2010 cruise in the Gulf of Alaska. That photo, too, has been circulating the web for some time, though the misconceptions about it seem to be less thanks to Smith's explanation of the photo on his Flickr page. That one has also been making the rounds on Reddit and social media for years and had racked up more than 800,060 views by early 2013 on that one page alone, Smith said.
So is it saying that it's a phenomenon that happens randomly?
I think they were saying, I don't think they've got to what they're explaining it to be just yet. Let me scan down here a little bit. So it looks like, let me just read this paragraph here. So those eddies often carry with them huge quantities of glacial sediment, thanks to rivers like Alaska's 286-mile-long Copper River, prized for its salmon and originating from the Copper Glacier far inland. It empties out east of Prince William Sound, carrying with it all the heavy clays and sediment, and with that sediment comes iron. So it sounds like basically the sediments are what causes that the waters not to mix, basically, which is what you were saying. It's different levels of sediment cause different types of water. So
yeah,
that
all
makes
right.
sense.
Yeah.
So, all righty.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I think they say they found lakes like that at the bottom of the ocean. And, in my mind, that's, it would make sense that that's what that is
Yeah, I believe it.
source water.
Yeah, I believe it. So, all right, are we ready to move on?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I gotta figure out where I'm at.
12. Verse 12.
12, okay. So 600, yeah. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And the selfsame day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wives, and the 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, and two of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bare up the ark, and it was lift up above the earth. And the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both fowl and of cattle and of beast and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man. All in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land died. And every living substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven. And they were destroyed from the earth, and Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. That's chapter 7. Any final thoughts?
I don't think so. What do you think about when it says God shut him in? What's that look like to you?
I think he shut the ark in. Basically, God shut the door to the ark.
Yeah,
it's like
I
a
get
supernatural
that,
event.
What does that look like to you?
Well, I don't know what you mean. Like, I'm just assuming God shut the door, and
because it doesn't say anything about like an angel of the Lord closing the doors, or
I kind of like how.
What does that?
Well,
look
I mean, from Noah's perspective, it'd probably look like the door just shutting on its own, and they would assume that was God doing it.
Yeah, I
That's kind of how I pictured it. So
the cartoon version of Prince of Egypt did. They had like a flood kind of hit the side of the boat, and it jolted the boat sideways almost, and it closed the door really fast like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bet. All right. Cool.
All right. Well, what do you think?
I don't know. I just like as a kid, I learned that it was like angels were sent to close the door up. But that's obviously an embellishment.
Yeah.
Or it was Nephilim. They ran up and closed doors real quick for him.
I don't know why they would do that.
I mean, God can make you do whatever he wants.
I was always under the impression that they were of course, this is just inference, the Bible doesn't say it, but I was always under the impression that these people were like mocking Noah and all of that until it finally happened. So
they mocked him right up until the...
Possibly. I mean, that was the
raining.
inference, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what happened.
I mean, it could just be that, like they were mocking him.
Stoogies for looks like you know what you're doing.
Wow, that's hateful.
I know, right? I don't know. Let's see. When did I start smoking?
I don't know.
I used to smoke a pipe before this, and then I tried to do an audiobook for the first time, and I got so stressed out I switched over to cigars. And
everybody starts smoking to look cool, so don't feel special.
Yeah, I guess. So, no, I'm trying to remember how long that was been, though. I think that would have been 2018, 2019 to answer his question. So, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, something like that. So yeah. And they don't look cool. They are cool. So, nah. Anyway. So, all right. Moving on. Chapter 8.
That guy must be a professional stogie sucker, if you know what I mean.
Ah, gotcha.
We're all professionals at something.
Right, there we go. So chapter 8, and the Lord remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark, and God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. And the fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters returned from off the earth continually, and after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. And
He
the
asked what kind it is in particular.
LFD. So I don't know. I don't remember what that stands for, but double Ligero LFD. So
Nice.
So what kind is it in any particular you like? I'm a big fan of anything LFD. My favorite is Andalusian Bull. That's probably my favorite type of cigar, but they're too expensive and I get priced out every so often. So they're like $20 a one. So I don't, there's no way to spend money like that. Yeah. There's no way to spend money like that and not feel guilty. So I don't do that very often.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think LFD is probably my favorite brand of cigar. I like the most of their stuff. Yeah, I would recommend anything from LFD. Trying to think. My Father cigars are good. Brickhouse is good. Yeah, there's several brands. Brickhouse is a good solid one. I'd start with Brickhouse. So they're cheap and they're not a ludicrous size. So anyway, the reason I smoke a big cigar, if anybody even cares, is because even though it looks ridiculous, it's actually cheaper than buying the smaller ones. Because that thing looks big, but I'll be smoking it for like 6 hours. So when I get done here, I'm going to be editing the videos and everything like that. And, I basically spend 6 hours smoking one cigar. So it's just cheaper, frankly. But
I can't do that, man. I quit last week, but it was like I get tapped out on nicotine in like 15, 20 minutes, and so I want to put it out, and then it tastes like shit after that. So
Yeah.
it's weird. Man, I don't know if it's like something wrong with my palate or what, but I don't feel like they taste like crap. Like I don't mind letting them go out and then just smoking it sometime later.
Yeah.
So some people are
I
definitely
have done it, but it's not it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just haven't noticed a difference, but they say there is one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, of course I can't help it. I get so OCD on the editing and all the little pedantic crap, I forget I'm smoking it. So yeah, that's kind of how that works. So
yeah.
Anyway, what's next? Trevor, I'm lost. Help me, man.
I believe you were on 8.
I was on 8? Okay.
We're about to hit 8.
Are you sure?
Or 7.
I think it was 5, now that I'm looking.
Oh,
We'll start at 5.
Go back to 5 then.
And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month, and the 10th month on the first day of the 10th month were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. And he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and
hold
fro.
up.
Yes.
When it says the 10th month, does that say in the 10th month of Noah's 600th year?
I think it's saying the 10th month of the flood.
40 days is not 10 months, though.
Well, 40 days is when the rain, from what I understand, 40 days is when the rain was on the earth. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights, but 40 nights, but the flood lasted about like a year and a half.
Dang.
Yeah. So it was like the seismic event broke open the fountains of the deep. Something about that caused it to rain for 40 days and 40 nights. Then the rain cleared up, but the water that had come up from the ground stayed on the earth for like a year and a half.
Where did it
That's
go
the way
at?
I understand that. Well, according to the rapid plate tectonics theory, it was like moving in and out on the continents. And then finally, once everything kind of slowed down, it formed into the oceans, if that makes any sense.
So there was no ocean before?
If there was, it wasn't as big, from what I understand. Like, the way, of course, it's just one theory. Like, there's also the canopy theory. There's the idea that the comet hit the Earth. There's a lot of, like, different theories about how it was done. according to the plate tectonics theory, there was basically a Pangea-like continent that got fractured. And during that time, basically the continents are moving apart very quickly, and then they start to slow down. But during all that period, the water's kind of churning in and out, and, you know, kind of, it's like a tidal wave, like a bunch of tidal waves, you know what I mean? It would like swoop in, wipe everything out, then get sucked back out into the ocean and kind of back and forth, and while the plates are getting recycled quickly. It's like the way it was described was like a dinner plate being flipped. Like if you put a dinner plate on top of the sink full of water, and then you tilt the edge of that plate under the water, what'll happen is that plate will get sucked into the bottom of the sink. It's like that kind of phenomena is what they said might have happened. I don't know. I just know that they posited it, and then a computer model in Japan said it was plausible. That's about all I know about it, but that's one theory. And then Hovind's is a little different. Trevor, do you remember how Hovind's canopy theory and the comet went? Because that didn't have plate tectonics. That was a wholly different thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There was a firmament, but it's broken now. So
Yeah,
the Earth's a globe all of a sudden.
And when the fountains of the deep broke open, it shot. The pressure was so high it shot parts of Earth out into space.
Uh-huh.
And that's how you get the moon crevices, because it shot them so far. And then they came back.
Yeah, I think if I remember, is that Hovind's or is that somebody else? It seems like there was somebody else that he wrote a book called In the Beginning, but I don't remember the author's name. I think you're talking about his theory, not Hovind's theory.
Oh.
Who was that guy? Let me look that up.
I don't remember.
I'll
have to look it up.
Creation book. If I can spell, that would be great. Creation book, In the Beginning. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the Bible story. I'm talking about the book.
You're not talking about Unger Dryas, are you?
I have no idea. I don't remember the author's name. I think it's maybe Wallace? Stephen J. Wallace?
I don't have a clue.
I don't remember. We'd have to look up Hovind's stuff again. I think the way Hovind's theory went is that a comet smashed into the canopy, and then that canopy collapsed, and that was what caused the rain for 40 days. And all the excessive
What was keeping the water up?
Huh?
What was keeping the water up in a firmament shape?
Well, presumably, like, it was kind of like Saturn's rings. Like, it was high enough that it was kind of just circulating over the Earth, and then the comet came in and smashed it or something.
Oh, busted the cherry, huh?
Yeah, well, it has some plausibility. The big thing about it is the mammoths and a lot of the creatures that have been found, like, in the north, like, they're uncovered with, like, green plant matter in their stomachs, which is telling because, you know, hydrochloric acid doesn't know you're dead. So whatever hit them or buried them had to freeze them solid within a couple hours. And there's no temperature on Earth that could have done that. I mean, you're talking negative 200s Fahrenheit. So that's kind of why they think it was like a comet or there was like a canopy or something. There had to be something in space that came down and buried them, is the idea. Because they can't figure out how in the world you freeze a woolly mammoth quickly enough for the plant matter to not break down in its stomach.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the idea. Also, the other thing with the canopy theory is a lot of people buy into it because the dinosaurs' nostrils are too small. Like, you can't get animals that big with the kind of nostrils that they have. So you had to have, like, higher air pressure and higher oxygen content. So something had to be, like, trapping the air, you know? So, you know, I think it's got there's some plausibility to it. I don't know what happened.
You know why dinosaurs' nostrils are too small?
Why is that?
Because they made up dinosaurs and they designed them after birds.
I've wondered if, like they're actually all just birds. And they're just like, no, it's scales, not feathers. Shut up. I've wondered that. But anyway, yeah, they can't breathe in today's climate. So that's the idea. I don't know. I just know evolution's ridiculous, and it's sillier than all those theories put together. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah, I couldn't find the book we were talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find it at some point because it's just called In the Beginning, and Hovind references it constantly.
Yeah, it's in Hovind's seminar 6.
Is it 6 or 1? Because he's got 7.
Yeah, it says 6.
Maybe
when I was
both.
looking
I'd
at
imagine it'd be
this,
both.
but
In 6,
yeah.
okay. All right, well, let's move on. Let's see. I think we got through 2 verses that time.
Sorry, it's my fault.
No, you're good. You're good. That's why we're doing this. It's, go slow.
Questions are good.
Yeah. And, yeah, we need to kind of make up for screwing up last week. So
Yeah,
which I screwed up. It wasn't an us thing. That was me.
Yeah,
so,
I've been listening as much as I can. So
yeah.
so far, so good.
So far, so good. Yeah, OBS says it's good this time. So, all right, let's see. We were at the 10th month. First day of the month were the tops. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. And the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. And he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. And the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her and pulled her in unto him into the ark. Now last week we mentioned that was a nautical practice. When they were looking for land, they'd send out birds. They'd keep birds on the ship, and then they'd send the birds out, and if the birds came back, they knew land wasn't close. And so that was something they did at that time. It's like a historical practice, which tends to suggest this isn't an allegory. Or is it meant? Yeah, it's not an allegory. So, and he stayed yet another 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark.
You're not sharing the Bible on the...
Oh, am I not? Dad,
live stream.
blame it. Oh, your producer's an idiot. Okay, it's all right. And the dove came in to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off, so Noah knew that the waters were abated off the earth. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. And it came to pass in the 600th and first year, in the first month, in the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth, and Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the second month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dried. Now, all these dates are kind of telling, because again, if this was like an allegory or some kind of poetic narrative, why would you be mentioning the dates?
How long does it take an olive tree to grow?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, was it Moses that was writing all this down?
There's debate about that. Like it could have been Moses. It could have been Joseph's son who was collecting like stories from the Jewish people before they went to Egypt and wrote them down. Because I believe the tradition is that Joseph's son invented the Hebrew language. So it's they invented the language and then they started compiling this stuff like shortly before they left or something like that. There's Titus Kennedy speculates on that some. So it might, like the thing about Genesis is that from what I understand, it's got like multiple authors.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I can't remember who it was, but you remember that Professor Jing, that guy I send you sometimes?
I'm sorry.
Chinese, he's like a Chinese professor.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So he talks about this, and he says, I can't remember her name, but there's a girl that allegedly wrote all 5 books of the Torah. I can't remember her name. She was like a queen or something. Like Sumerian days.
Why does he
remember her name.
think that? Why does he say that?
I mean, if I would know her name if I knew the material better, bud.
Yeah, we'd have to, because I mean, I obviously would think it was Moses and some people from earlier that wrote Genesis, but
Yeah,
I mean,
but I mean, it's all like it's the same line of thinking that goes along with the monad and um, Yahweh being the what's it called? The antagonist. Um, I can't remember what it's called.
I don't know what you're referring to, so I can't help you.
It's like the nihilistic view, where Yahweh is Yahweh's Satan basically, but the monad is the source energy, and it like created the earth, and then
I haven't heard
like
this.
when Yahweh's a octopus thing.
Is this
with the
kind of
thing
trying to
on the-
conflate Jewish
with the
tradition with like
eyeball.
some weird pagan thing? They're trying to say they're like the same deal.
I don't know. It's a theology that I've heard. I guess you haven't heard it. I don't
I
know.
haven't heard it. I haven't heard it. My exposure is Bart Ehrman saying like some weird Greek story where the girl has birth to a kid, then there's a lightning strike and a bunch of swans, and somehow that's equivalent to Christ being born. Like just weird crap like that, you know? Like, okay, buddy, whatever. So
Yeah.
so it sounds kind of like more of the same, more of that, where they try to equivocate the stories, but I don't know.
It's like the view that Earth is a holding place. It's like a trap, and you have to get out of it.
How do you get
There's
out
like
of it?
like a demigorgon that rules the world. You know,
Like a demiurge? That's
yeah, demiurge. That's the word I was
That's
looking for.
Gnosticism. There's
Yeah.
there's the
Okay,
demiurge.
so that goes along with all that
Well-
monad, all that he was talking about.
Well, Gnosticism's way later. Like, I don't know what he's referring to, but Gnosticism is the idea that God created spirit and everything spirit is good, and then the demiurge created matter and everything matter is bad.
Right.
So that's New Testament times. John refutes that. Like 1 John, 2 John, 3 John, the false prophets and antichrist figures he's referring to are the Gnostics. So that's a different time frame, but I don't know what the other guy's talking about, but
So is that
I don't know. I'll listen to it again. Maybe
yeah.
You know. Use my words better next time.
No, you're good. What were you going to say, Trevor?
So is that what someone means when they say they're agnostic or something like that? Or
No.
Gnostic?
No. Agnostic is I'm not sure. It's like I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a kind of a different thing. So all right.
Agnostic is I don't know, and Gnostic is I do know.
Yeah. You're probably right. Like they probably like had some term where it's like we're the truth, you know, or something like that. Like
Yeah. Well, Gnostic means knowledge. I mean, it's just, but you can't know everything. You can't. As soon as you think you know something, you're wrong.
That's
Yeah.
why I know nothing, Jon Snow.
Right. Okay. So all right, let's see. Ground was high. And in the second month, and on the 7th and 20th day of the month, and the earth was the earth dried. And God spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with them. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth after their kinds went forth out of the ark.
Thank you, Sad Sands.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Noah, yeah, that's Demi's, her YouTube channel. She built a YouTube channel, and she's 7.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't know how she figured it out, but she did. So, and Noah builded on an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor, and the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground anymore for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living as I have done. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. And that is chapter 8.
Nice. Well done.
All right. We got chapter 9, and then we're on to the next thing. If this thing won't, it's lagging on me. Hang on.
Lagging. Every day I'm lagging it.
All right. So thoughts on 8, gentlemen. I need to get a drink because my voice is going.
Thoughts and things.
I have no thoughts on 8. I have no thoughts on 8.
You have no thoughts on 8.
Nope.
I will say this. I can see, although I'm not saying I agree with it, but I can see the creation story being read as an allegory. I don't know how you see the flood being read as an allegory. Given the way the details are written, I think you're supposed to take it as a literal account. I don't see how you don't. I mean, it doesn't strike. Like, if you look at Genesis 1, you got evening and morning on the first day, evening and morning. Like, you have repetitions. You have some kind of like, Adam's name literally means man. There's like things that would make you suspect, okay, this might be an abbreviation of a different time or something like that. Possibly. I mean, it might be literal, but the repetition and the way that it's written makes it possible that it might not be. This, however, the dimensions of the ark, the nautical practices they used, the time frame that's given, those are all things that to me suggest this is meant to be read literally, in my opinion.
Why do you think the flood happened? What do you think was like literally going on? What does it mean that all flesh was corrupted?
Well, I've heard that the Nephilim and different ones were doing like genetic testing and altering man's DNA. I don't know if I buy that, but I heard it. I don't buy it, actually, but it's an interesting idea.
So what would you believe? What does all flesh corrupted mean?
I think they were killing each other en masse. I think it was like, this is just my opinion. I don't have any particular biblical evidence for it, but I think it was kind of like with the Canaanites, where they're sacrificing babies and all this horrible stuff to pagan entities. And I think it just got to a point where God was like, I got to start over. I just think they were exceptionally evil and like genocidal. I mean, that's what I believe. What do you think?
I think they were all minotaurs and shit.
Like they were all chimeras?
Yeah.
I've heard that.
I mean, it says all flesh was corrupted, and I can't think of any other way to think about that except genetically.
Genetically modified in some way, shape, or form.
What do you think, Trevor?
I think there were, too many demons walking around in bodies.
But that didn't stop, did it?
No, it didn't stop. But anyways.
All right. It's an interesting idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would have to hear like why people think that. I don't personally think it. I think corrupted means sinful. Like corrupted spiritually. But
yeah, but it says flesh. It doesn't say spirit.
Well, flesh would be like a synonym
corrupted
for man. Like flesh would be like flesh as in men, things that breathe, Flesh was corrupt. I don't think it necessarily means physical bodies. I think it's like nomenclature for humanity.
It's not allegory.
Well, yes, but that does... Okay, an allegory is like something that's a poetic narrative that's like either abbreviating something. It's like a larger tale that's talking about a broader event or something like that. That's what I mean. I might not be using the correct term, allegory, but that's what I mean. Like a poetic narrative that's abbreviating a period of time. That doesn't mean they can't use nomenclature or like common phrases, you know what I mean? Like hyperbolic phrases, or I'm trying to think of a good example. But like when somebody says I'll kill you, they don't literally mean I'll kill you. You know what I mean? It means I'm mad. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of terminology. To say the flesh is like a saying for people. You know what I'm saying?
You think the Bible's going to make that, just make a slip, just be like, yeah, we mean spirit, but let's say flesh.
Yeah, I think it depends on what the nomenclature of the
Oh,
time
come on, man.
was. It depends on how they
Flesh
referenced
means
people
flesh.
at the time.
All throughout the Bible.
I don't think
There's
it
no
literally means
differentiation on that
skin. It
word.
means living thing. It doesn't
No,
mean
flesh
like
means
skin.
Body parts,
No,
like cells.
you're reading a modern definition. That's not what they meant. It's like a war between the spirit and the flesh. It doesn't mean literal body. No, because
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Because that's like Gnosticism, and God is not going to make things corrupted. Things can distort, things can become evil, but flesh is not inherently evil because it is flesh. God made it, so it isn't going to
genetically
start.
modified.
Yes, let's explore that. I don't think just because something's
like
genetically
if you
modified means it's evil.
If you mix a person and a deer, that's not a person. That's corrupted.
Well, how do you know?
Need to put it in the ground.
Maybe Bambi's sentient.
Bro. You're wild.
Well, okay.
Unicorns were pure.
Okay, so you think that, like, if you were able to, like, make a chimera, you know, some animal-human hybrid, that the humanity would be lost?
Yeah, absolutely.
See, I don't think so. I don't think that humanity's in the mind. It's your ability to be self-aware. I don't know why you would lose that as an animal just because you're, like, look different.
If you have antlers growing out of your head and you have deer legs, that might affect your image a little bit.
I think you're going to be a little shy. Maybe a little insecure.
Yeah, definitely a little shy.
But that doesn't mean you're not going to be sentient.
Oh, my God.
Now we're in fantasy land.
we're trying to decide if Mr. Tumnus was technically a human being. So, well, what do you think,
put him
Trevor?
Down. Put him down.
Put him down.
What do I think about what?
What do you think about, the genocide of Mr. Tumnus and all fawns?
Was it all just mean people in Genesis? Was it just mean, hateful people? Or were there...
I think that's a little reductive. I think killing babies is a little worse than just being mean.
Yeah.
I think they were very evil people. Yeah. I think they were extremely evil and spiritually, like, bent, malicious. Like, they hurt people for pleasure.
I mean, you can say that, but it says flesh. It doesn't say spiritually
Yes, but
corrupted.
flesh means living beings. It doesn't mean skin.
Look it up in your Webster's there. What's
Why would I look up a biblical nomenclature out in Webster's?
You just said
Strong's.
Genesis wasn't allegory, it was literal.
Yes, but why did I say it was literal?
Because
it's in a book.
the bird practices and
Yes, it gives indications that there was a literal situation.
right. So when they literally say all flesh was corrupted,
But that doesn't mean they're not going to
corrupted.
use terminology unique to that time. That's a shorthand. They're, like flesh being all living beings or whatever. That could be just how they referred to people who were living. Huh?
What's flesh mean in Hebrew? Trevor, get after it.
Do we need to get the Strongs? We need to get the Strongs out? Okay. We can get the Strongs out. That's fine.
Mean in Hebrew.
See, what was that? What verse was that? Do we remember? All flesh was corrupted.
I don't know.
Hang on here.
I think it's back in like 4 or 5, isn't it?
I think it might have been in 7.
Oh yeah, it's got to be after 6.
Okay.
Because Genesis 6 is the Nephilim stuff. We have a conspiracy.
In Strong's Concordance, the term flesh is defined as flesh from its freshness, by extension body, person, and also euphemistically the pudenda of a man. It is used in various contexts, including animals and humans, and is often associated with freshness, body, and kinship.
Yes.
The term is found in numerous biblical verses reflecting its significance in the Hebrew language and its usage in Scripture.
I got an example for you, Cody. If you look here in Genesis 15, and they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. Skin does not breathe, so flesh wherein is the breath of life means a living being. The breath of life, an organism. Flesh means like organism, where there is the breath of life, like living organism.
Right. The breath of life is the spirit that animates the flesh.
Right. Skin in and of itself doesn't have a spirit. It's talking about living bodies, creatures, organisms.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
So we all agree.
Bodies. Flesh.
No.
Flesh of my flesh, right?
The breath of life is spirit. That's spirit. Breath is spirit.
Yes, we agree on that. I'm just saying they were corrupted in a spiritual sense, not a physical sense.
But it says in a fleshly sense.
No, it says that they were corrupted. It doesn't mean the skin was corrupted. It doesn't mean the body was corrupted. It means
says all
that there's
flesh was corrupted.
Yes, but flesh means organisms. So it literally means all organisms were corrupted.
So was Noah an organism?
Yes.
So not all flesh was.
Well, that gets into a different conversation about nomenclature. When you say all, do you literally mean all? It's like, no, that means like kill them all. It doesn't literally mean like every last single person. It means destroy the area or destroy the region.
I don't know.
It's generalizing.
Literal in
It's
the
generalizing.
story a lot. In the story a lot. He said, I mean, it's very specific. It says not one good soul, not one good, or whatever it says.
But there were good souls in there.
There wasn't.
There were 10. Remember? The countdown went down to 10. And it was only Lot and his family that were spared. So it was like 4.
He wasn't in the city, though.
Yeah, they got him out because they got him out because they didn't want to kill like the one good group of people there.
I'm saying,
okay,
it's very specific when it comes to that story, when it says all flesh. Like, it's like it says it like 4 times.
But
it's
that
like,
doesn't
all
necessarily.
Of them are bad?
You're assuming the corruption is physical. I'm saying the corruption is spiritual. It wasn't physical. Like, you could be right. I just don't know why people think that.
I mean, I think it would be very easy to make that distinction in that verse, and I feel like they did the best they could. I mean, they said flesh. They didn't say breath. They didn't say spirit. They didn't say whatever. They said flesh. That's the word that they used to describe the body in the Bible.
Let me see if we can find this verse that we're talking about here, because I thought it was 7, but it doesn't look like it was.
It might be before, because it's pretexting. It's like leading up to the flood. It's like saying all the flesh is corrupted, so we need to have a flood. But I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything?
Yeah, hang on. I'm just trying to find. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is my argument. I think the reason that it says it's talking about a spiritual corruption, hang on a minute, is because here it says, and God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So that's describing a spiritual condition. That's in 5. And then in 12, it says, and God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. So that would be like his actions. That would be his behavior.
Okay.
You know?
All flesh had corrupted his way, his will.
Yeah.
Is a spiritual endeavor.
So we, as humankind, took his way and went.
That's what we do every day, buddy.
Yeah.
Yep.
But hey, part of that evil could have been making chimeras and stuff. I'm not saying they didn't exist. I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
And Bigfoots.
I mean that there it is. I'll give it this. There's a lot of like archaeological drawings and stuff like depicting chimeras and stuff, and you kind of have to wonder why.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's a little weird. So it's possible.
Who knows? Maybe I'm completely wrong, and everything's been normal. Everybody's been 6 foot tall forever.
We're all completely wrong at some point.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what life was like back then. I have no clue. I couldn't tell you.
We'll find out one day.
No, I think the idea of chimeras is interesting.
Yeah.
And I do think that it's possible to do that sort of thing. But I don't know.
It's been done.
They say it's been done. We're getting into the conspiracies and such, but yeah.
I mean, you've heard of the Liger.
From
The
Napoleon
Liger.
Dynamite, but yes, I have heard of the Liger. So.
Oh, it's a real thing, though.
Oh yeah.
There's
Look
one
into
in
it.
a zoo
Like-
somewhere.
If so there's a certain gene. It's carried by the male in. It's been so long since I've looked at this stuff. So lions and tigers each, like the male tiger doesn't have like a switch to tell it to stop growing, right? And so they breed but neither does the female lion or something like that. So they breed them together, and it just like continually grows
Really?
forever. Right? Yeah.
Huh. That's fine. I'll have to look into that. Yeah. I heard a crazy
into
one. I heard a
I'm an
crazy.
idiot.
Yeah, that's interesting. I heard a crazy idea that, or at least a theory that, or a claim, I should say, that they've got goats that milk spider silk.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know if that one's real or not.
I don't know either, but that's kind of nuts to think about.
Yeah.
So.
But like the Tasmanian devil, you remember that one?
Like I know of the Tasmanian devil, but it's
That was a
chimera?
real thing. Yeah.
Huh.
Tasmanian. It was like a hyena kind of, I think.
Yeah, I knew that there
But
was
it had
one.
like this giant freaking jaw.
Is this like a different Tasmanian devil, like distinct from the ones that are alive now in Madagascar? Was it Is it Madagascar?
I don't know. I didn't know there was ones alive in that.
Yeah, there's like these little black ones, these little black things called Tasmanian devils that are
I don't know, man.
vicious and stuff.
The goats producing spider silk is genetically modified.
Is it actually a thing?
It's actually a thing.
Really?
Researchers at the University of Wyoming.
Huh. Your taxpayer dollars at work, folks.
Right. USAID funded this project.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, I think it's definitely plausible that that was the case, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You're the case.
Are we ready to move on, boys?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Chapter 9.
And
Are
God.
we gonna start a new separate them, or just keep rolling with the same one?
We're gonna get through 9, and then we'll start 10 next week. So we're kind of like meshing 2 weeks together.
Okay.
So at least I
That's my
think,
question.
unless I screwed up my count somehow, which I might have. But anyway.
That's all right.
And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon the fowl of the air, every fowl of the air, and all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall you not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood...
Hang on.
Pause.
So he's saying that before that, you could eat raw meat. That's what that says.
You might be right. I
As
don't
long
know.
as-
I'm going to be honest.
As long
I
as it
got
was a
confused.
clean animal, because it did differentiate between clean and unclean when they were talking about the boat. So there was
Yeah.
clean and unclean animals,
Yeah.
but this contract didn't come till after the flood. So before the flood, you could eat raw meat.
Yeah, just to
Possibly.
survive and whatnot. Yes.
I got a little lost, so I'll take you guys' words for it. I'd have to look at it. Let's see. And surely blood everyone shall be meat for you as the green herb. Have I given you all things? See, I was under the impression that they were vegetarians before the flood.
That's entirely possible.
And that this is like a qualifier that you can eat meat, but you got to get rid of the blood. You got to get the blood out of it.
Entirely possible.
Yeah, that's the way I understood it. But anyway, Trevor, what do you think?
But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. I think it means you don't want to eat the life of the being that you're eating.
So you don't want to drink. You don't want to eat the blood.
You don't want to drink their blood, because then you'll take on their life. Their
New theory.
Go for it.
All flesh before the flood were vampires. They were all vampires.
Dun dun dun.
All of them.
It's all coming together.
So Noah was a vampire.
No, it wasn't.
And he was cleansed
During
the flood.
With the rains of the flood.
I don't know. We're gonna get in trouble with somebody. So
Heresy, burn it down.
Riot is a very terrible thing, and I say we ought to have one. So, all right. Let's see. We're okay.
7.
Okay. Okay. No, we need to finish 6. Whoso? Oh, you're good. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For the image of God made he man. And you, be ye fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein. And God spake unto Noah and to his sons with them, saying, And I, behold, establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you, neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, This is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh.
So he's talking about the rainbow.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, we talked a little bit about this last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we started in on it.
Yeah, we mentioned that this is the first unconditional covenant.
Yeah,
so,
and it's a literal signifier of his promise, because
right,
like before that, moisture couldn't mix with the air. Maybe like the water was too dense to mix with the air, so it couldn't create a rainbow.
Yeah, we talked something like that last week. Yeah, something to do with the environment made a rainbow impossible. Something about the old environment made a rainbow impossible, and now
right.
And
rainbow
that's what got me into the source water thing last week.
Yeah. So sorry, Trevor, were you gonna say something?
There's a pot of gold at the end of each rainbow.
That is not true at all. I have found the end of a rainbow. It was a letdown. So. All right. And God said unto Noah, This is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. I think that's right. That's where we should be. Okay.
There's that word again, flesh.
Yeah. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem and Ham and Japheth, and Ham is the father of Canaan. These are the 3 sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. And he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants, shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years, and all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. So I was wrong. We actually did cover this chapter last week. Do we want to go ahead, or do we want to stop here?
There you go. My phone's at 20% though, so this might be a short night for me.
Okay. So I didn't hear it. You want to go ahead, Trevor?
I was going to say let's skip on to the next
skip on to the next one? Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, Greg had some comments about that. I don't remember what.
Yeah.
They might have said somebody said that saw the nakedness of his father might have been an allegory for him having like relations with his wife or something.
Oh,
yeah.
Somebody had mentioned that. I don't remember who mentioned that, but that's just some food for thought. Might have just been, Bottom line, though, was the younger brother was disrespectful and got punished for it. So.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty big curse.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. You had to do something pretty bad.
Yes. Right. Yes, indeed. So.
I mean, Canaanites are still cursed to this day. That's rough.
Yep. All right. I think we're done then. So if you are on the live stream, stay with us. We've got 2 more segments left. If you are watching this after the fact, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
On the part 2. Who wants to lead us in? Trevor, I think you should lead us in since... Oh, Cody, you do it.
Welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or the Try F podcast, where we try not to F the podcast up. And today we are talking about...
Van Helsing!
Van Helsing.
Yes.
And Dracula.
I guess Dracula would be incorporated in that. So, hang on a minute. Let me get our
and Dr.
movie poster all pretty. All right.
Very pretty.
That's a pretty picture. Okay, so who wants to start? What do they think of this movie? Trevor, how about you begin?
Well, I think Hugh Jackman does a really awesome job in it.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
Of course, Kate Beckinsale always does a good job.
Yep.
But no, it was a very good story of telling, like Van Helsing hunting down the creatures and all the action sequences, and it just keeps rolling.
Van Helsing's really like a mixture of a bunch of Brothers Grimm tales, right?
It's more like 1800s stuff. Wolfman, Frankenstein, Dracula, that Victorian Gothic novel genre.
Yeah, I like the beginning of the movie with where he goes up against Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's probably the best part, I think.
Yeah.
Cody, what do you think?
Great storyline. Drags you into feeling bad for the monster. That's cool. When a movie can make you do that. Hot vampire chicks.
Technology was ahead of its time, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a classic with the fam. We've all watched it probably 6-7 times.
Oh my gosh. 40 lashes with a wet noodle. So
don't tip me with a good time.
Okay, I guess I need to give my opinion. This is
No,
this is a terrible movie. I love it, but it's a terrible movie. Structurally, it's awful. I love it so much.
Awful.
I love
Why
it
is it
so
awful
much.
structurally?
But it's like a little Debbie cake, you know? It's just like it's like this is not
Tastes
sound
great,
at
but
all.
it's not well put together.
Right.
Why
Yeah,
don't-
It's driven too much by coincidence. That's the problem.
Oh, I
People,
see.
one of the hallmarks of a sloppy movie is people always end up in the right place at the right time for no feasible reason.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, right, exactly. And it sucks because, like, for example, the monk finds the painting, you know what I mean, of the Dracula and the werewolf fighting. Without that, you don't get the rest of the movie. But he just happens to put his arm on a sconce, and then the sconce sinks down, and then he gets this random image that he doesn't know what it means. That kind of stuff is just the hallmark of bad writing. I'm sorry.
And the cesium grenade. Just so happened that they took it along, didn't know what it was for yet.
Yeah, right.
And
I
then
know
you
what
said
it's
at the
for
right
now.
point. Yeah.
It's like, thank you for directing me thank you for calling attention to that sloppy bit of writing. But the line that he says right after that is, what was it? Van Helsing says, whatever, Carl, you're a genius. And he's like, I'm a genius with access to unstable chemicals. I did like that line. That was a good line.
I guess I like it so much because it does hit like every level of my ADHDism.
Oh yes. If you have ADHD, it'll keep your attention. You're bouncing from one thing to the next.
Fair enough.
I mean, it sucks because I love the movie, but it's interesting. Like, even though structurally it's not good, it still keeps your attention, and you enjoy it. At least I enjoy it. I find it great, and I think that's because it traded out any and all form of coherency for just strict pacing. Just get to the next thing. Get to the next thing. Who cares how we get there? Just get to it, and that works. The other thing I also like is I really like these early 2000 attempts, because League of Extraordinary Gentlemen did kind of something similar with this, but those early attempts to kind of combine all those Victorian era novels into one like coherent like cinematic universe. Like I always liked that idea.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of the things that inspired the books I wrote, actually. But yeah, trying to fit Frankenstein into the same world as the werewolf, into the same world as the vampire, and it all makes
Speaking
sense.
of your book.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. I got to plug it.
Time to plug it.
That's
Gary,
right.
plug your book.
Plug the
Plug
book.
it, hurry.
I got a paperback today. Yes. Yes. Looky here.
Since we're talking about vampires.
Since we're talking about
Nice.
vampires, The Familiar, available February 3rd. It's out.
Well done, sir.
I got to fix some issues with the print edition, but it looks good.
Yeah.
So you could buy it. It's awesome.
You're gonna autograph some coffees?
If actually more than 5 people buy it. So, yeah. Also, there's another thing I need to show as well. If you are interested in actually buying it, I have also constructed a website that you can go to.
An entire website.
An entire
For the book.
website for the books,
Heck yeah.
for the Annals of Psalm. And if you want, you can get it either on paperback, ebook, or audiobook, if you can tolerate AI voices. I do intend to eventually read it myself or hire a friend of mine to read it. But for now, you've got an AI voice that I tried to make as interesting as possible by monkeying with it.
Is it like Morgan Freeman or what is it?
No, it's not Morgan Freeman. It is a robot. But but it's like you know how the AI voices. They're better than they were in the 90s.
Imitate the voice for me.
Well, I can just play it. Hang on a minute.
No, I want you to imitate it.
There's no way I can do that fairly. Hang on a minute.
Well, give us a little snippet.
Imitate.
All right. Let's see here. Don't mute.
I can't hear it.
I know.
The character dynamics and themes in this story were in large part inspired by the lessons learned during that program. Thank you for your instruction. and thank you for fighting for the people in my small part of the world. May God bless you in the same way you were a blessing to me.
So, yeah, that's my acknowledgement
Nice.
to Dr. Henderson. So, when I first wrote the
Nice.
book, it was like inspired, or at least I was trying to use vampirism as an allegory for addiction. And that concept kind of came from an addictions counseling course or program. It wasn't a course. It was a year-long program or 2-year program that I took a year and a half of. And my first professor was Dr. Henderson, and she taught us about kind of how relational dynamics also play a part in addictions, not just the drug itself. And so I took that concept and tried to apply it to vampirism. So I dedicated the book to her. So that was what you were hearing. But anyway, that should give you an idea of the voice. I don't think it's too bad. I would listen to it.
Yeah,
So,
not terrible.
yeah.
I've heard worse.
Yeah, I have too. So the worst one I've heard so far is the Kindle. Like if you just pull up the text, read the text function on Kindle or whatever.
Oh, really?
It's terrible. Yeah, it's bad. But yeah, this is better. And so, yeah. And I will eventually do like I'll either read it myself or I'll pay a friend of mine to read it. So,
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Somebody with a sultry voice.
So yeah, Sean Connery or somebody. Yeah.
Your mother, Trebek.
Gosh, I remember that SNL sketch.
That's what
That's
your
one
mother
of
said last night, Trebek.
That's one of the last good SNL sketches that I remember.
Right.
So, all right. So there's my shameless plug. Back to talking about Van Helsing.
Yep.
Yay, Van Helsing.
Yeah.
Good movie. 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. I wouldn't
They
give
did
that.
not what Gary says. Gary says 5.5.
6. I'd give it a 6. But I mean, again, it's hard because I really like it. Like I do love the movie.
The thing that confused me a lot was why did he? I forgot what name he gave Dracula gave him. And what was his name?
Called him Gabriel.
Gabriel. That's
Yeah.
right.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why did he start calling him Gabriel? I
Because the idea is that Dracula made a deal with the devil, and he was like a servant of Satan, and Van Helsing, I guess, was what they seemed to imply was that he was a fallen angel sent to Earth to fight the monsters. Yeah. So I don't know if Gabriel had actually fallen.
Dude.
Yeah, well, that was, I mean, it's an interesting idea that, he was basically an angel that lost his memory and had to go and fight the monsters forever, I guess. So.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty sweet.
It's
Yeah,
it's an interesting concept.
That part always lost me. I'm like, why did he just randomly start calling him Gabriel?
Yeah, they were going for a religious thing there. But,
It's kind of like how in Mark, when Jesus comes upon the demons and they're like, "We know you." Like,
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
you are.
yeah, exactly.
What do you
So,
want with us?
yeah,
But Jesus didn't lose his memory.
that's true. That's true. You were actually allowed to write about and talk about angels back then, and that was actually kind of a big thing at the time. Was like the whole fallen angel thing. You had Constantine, the movie Constantine came out, and then you had Legion.
What do you mean you're not allowed to?
Well, now everybody's too communist. You got to write about trannies and all manner of people with complexes. So
Yeah.
otherwise, you're not representing.
Legion was a terrible movie, though.
I forgot all about it, so I'm sure it couldn't have been that good.
It was, what's that? His name's Jeffrey Chaucer in The Knight's Tale. Can't remember his actual name.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets knocked down to earth, and it has to save what little humanity he can from. They're kind of like World War Z zombie type demonic people.
Yeah, I don't like that
everywhere.
bit.
Yeah.
I do like his acting, though. He's fun.
He is a good actor.
He is a good actor. One thing I found interesting in this Van Helsing was the idea that, like, the monsters, like, they really leaned into the whole idea that the monsters weren't really capable of controlling themselves. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, to be fair, it's one of the things I don't actually like about the monster ethos, but to be fair, that is consistent with it, you know, the complete loss of control, particularly in the Wolfman's case.
Well,
And they lean pretty heavy into that.
Yeah, the Wolfman becomes fully animalistic and base instincts.
Can't control anything, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's that gets a little bit into Gnosticism some, you know, the idea that some things are inherently evil and have to be killed because they are inherently evil. Which I'm not exactly a fan of because, you know, that's kind of implies dualism, which I don't buy into. But that's kind of why I like the vampire a little bit better, is because the vampire is a perverting element. But even then, though, with the vampire, it's like unclear whether the person is still the person or if like a demon just takes over the body. The book Dracula, for as much as I like it, kind of seems to go either way. Like in Lucy's case, it's not Lucy, so they got to kill her. She's a tormented soul, but she has like no control in some measure, and so it's like killing her is like releasing her from her torment. But you know, and it's kind of the same thing in Dracula's case. But they talk about Dracula, since he was such a childish personality in life, he's gonna do things the same way in death, you know. So like he abandoned his army at one point during a battle and survived simply because he fled. And so because he's doing that, he's cutting Mina off from the curse or whatever because he's basically fleeing. Like, you know, so they pull, Bram Stoker pulls from the actions of the guy in life, or what he thought to be the actions of the guy in life, and applies it to the vampire. So it kind of, I guess the book Dracula plays both sides, but I always found it more interesting when the vampires are human and they're like fighting their compulsions. You know, so I guess like a Buffy the Vampire type, Slayer type vampire. Or are the underworld vampires? I guess the underworld vampires would be the types that fight the blood addiction or what have you.
They fight.
I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen Underworld.
Yeah, I think that they can it's like a temptation they can resist in that universe.
I like that because you could apply it to like a parasitic infestation.
Right, exactly. I'm right there with you.
Or like beers, you know, the more you drink, the more you drink.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not your will anymore. After a while, you black out.
Yeah, but you have to give in to it so much before you get to that point.
Right. Yeah. So, but I think the idea would be the monsters are just like, they smash that button so many times they just don't have any control anymore.
Right. Yeah, I like that idea.
I will be right back.
All right. Yeah, the one thing I will say that I don't care much for is the in this movie is the Frankenstein figure. I liked him, but I didn't like him because he's so melodramatic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love him though. I mean, you know it's like it's a spoofy movie as soon as you get into it. So it's like, they made his character lovable, is what they did.
Mm-hmm. That's true. You do like him. I do like the guy who played Dracula though too. I think one of my favorite lines in that film is he's like they lose one of the vampire women and the other two are all upset and he's like, hey, don't worry, I'll just get another bride.
Yeah.
And then they're like, don't you have a heart? And he's like, no. That's gotta be one of the best parts of the movie.
Yeah.
The other thing I found interesting was Kate Beckinsale's character. Like, they actually treat the concept of the afterlife as relevant. You know, like, she believes she's going to go to heaven, or she's trying to get to heaven. And, you know, when she sees her brother die, she's like, I'll see you again. Like, they actually let the ideology of, like, there being an afterlife have, like, consequences in terms of the ramifications of how people see things. Like, it's relevant, you know. I found that interesting, too. I thought it was a little bit of lame, I guess. I thought it was a little lame that there was a convenient werewolf antidote in a syringe in Victorian England.
Yeah.
I thought that's a little silly, guys. So, but you forget, because it's been so long since we've had movies like that, man, you forget how everybody tried to go so big during that period of time. You just don't see that anymore, and I miss it. You know, you've got people doing like climbing ropes and doing trapeze stunts and swinging like George of the Jungle off giant precipices and things like that. It's like, man, I miss this. I miss this so freaking much. You just don't see that anymore.
I mean, they did it in like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, that's been like, how long has it been since the last Pirates of the Caribbean, though?
I think that was the third one. So
yeah, they did it in the third one.
Probably 2015.
Gosh, that's almost a decade or over a decade.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's depressing.
It all comes back around, man. Don't worry about it.
I hope so. I want to see
It all
movies like
comes
that
back
again.
around.
Movies suck right now. So
yeah. Well, I mean, look where Hollywood's at.
Kathleen Kennedy's gone though. Ding dong.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, that's the woman that killed Star Wars. She's the bigwig.
Oh,
She's the bigwig of Lucasfilms. She's the reason, huh?
I thought Disney bought Star Wars.
They did. She's the head of that branch though of like Lucasfilm, or she was. She's gone now. Hooray. Yeah, she's
so
the
she
reason.
works for Disney or Luke?
Well,
or
Disney bought Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
And she kind of was like, from what I understand, she's kind of like the CEO of that department. I don't remember exactly. Right. You know, she's not the CEO of Disney. That'd be Bob Iger, but she was.
She was the one that like booted Gina Carano and all that.
Yes,
right?
yes, that would be her. She is the reason Luke Skywalker died. And
did she have blue hair?
She may as well.
Just asking for a friend.
No, but she may as well. She has blue hair in spirit. So
yeah, not in flesh.
Not in flesh.
What's her name?
Kathleen Kennedy. She is gone. So long, farewell.
Speaking of gone, I got 10% on my phone and my headphones dead.
Ah, all right, man. Well, we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, brother.
Thanks. Yes.
Had fun. So you have a good night, man. We'll talk to you later.
You as well. We'll see y'all next week.
All right. See you, man.
See
Bye.
ya.
Later.
All right. Hang on. Let me switch us to the two screens.
I do not see any blue hair pictures.
No, she doesn't have blue hair. That was a joke, Trevor. It was a joke.
Oh.
So you got any more thoughts on Van Helsing, sir?
It's a great movie, and I'm going to have to watch it again at some point to get my dopamine fix of vampires and werewolves and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of another...
Did they throw Frankenstein in that one?
They did. You watched it a month ago.
right.
Yeah, they had Frankenstein in there. He was the key to the baby bats.
Right,
Bringing the baby bats to life, you know, Dracula's children.
Dracula needed the...
That was another thing I
someone
found
to-
really hard to believe, though. It's like, look at all these thousands of babies. This is just from one birthing, from one vampire wife. You're like looking at all these like weird things in this, you know, cocoon gelatinous sack deal, and you're like, how?
How did
The
she
sack
get
is
that
as big as the
out of
vampire
her?
wife.
Yeah.
It's like, this is silly.
Yeah.
And they'd hooked up like a bunch of wires and crap to each one of the pods, so apparently they needed an electric shock to come to life. And like, well, how did Dracula even put that together? So
Right?
there's a lot of little stupid things like that, you know.
Yeah.
It kind of took me out of it.
Yeah, I wonder how they come up with
stuff like that took
lore,
me out of
or
it.
if they just made it up themselves.
Well, they made it up. I mean, most of it's just made up.
Hollywood.
Yeah. Just being silly, unfortunately. One other thing I didn't like is that they made the order like multi-faith, like everybody had to be in there. You know, you had like the Muslims and the monks and the Catholics and the Greek Orthodox, and they're all working together in the order. And I'm like, those people would kill each other. Don't even start with me. So
It was kind of like a
one religion
order.
goofy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, guys, that you're cute, but there's no way that's happening. Stop.
Yeah, that would not work out.
No, not at all. But they didn't want to offend anybody, you know. I still had to worry about that.
Let's not offend anybody, so let's offend everybody at the same time.
Exactly. It's like, you do realize that when the monks, Even the Buddhist monks who see them working, who see somebody from their religion working with the Catholic Church, they're going, I wouldn't be caught dead if those people. What are you talking about? Like, you ain't making anybody happy in that scenario. What are you saying?
Right.
Like, nobody wants that outcome. So, except the communists, because communists don't believe in anything. But anyway.
Those commie
Oh,
blanks.
those commies, yeah. So, I didn't like that.
I gotta be careful with that because my brother-in-law might be one here before long.
Your brother-in-law is going to become a commie?
Let's see. He's married to my sister, so what would that make him?
Are you? Well, just because you're a Fed doesn't mean you're a commie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, don't. Yeah, no, don't. We're being tongue-in-cheek anyway. So.
Or cheek and tongue.
Yep. So, okay, back to the movie. So, let's see. What else? Is there anything else that we forgot to talk about? Is there a particular favorite scene of yours?
The part where they fight and he bites Dracula and he dissolves. That's probably the best part.
See, that
of
annoyed
the whole
me.
Movie.
That annoyed me.
What?
I'm like,
You
okay.
don't like him biting him?
I was like, look, they're vampires. They're vampires, man. You gotta have it through the heart. It's got to be the crucifix and the steak and the garlic. It's got to work. You can't just change the rules as to how to kill somebody, man. You got to play by some of the rules anyway. Otherwise, how's it a vampire?
His tooth
Other than just sucking blood.
His tooth bang was long enough. It pierced his heart when he bit him in the shoulder.
He bit him in the neck, yeah. He bled out.
Yeah.
I was a little annoyed by that. I didn't care for it. I was like, that's the other thing I don't like, is they never let the crucifixes work.
Right.
These people would sooner set themselves on fire than, let the crucifix work in these movies. It's kind of petty.
The crucifix on fire, so.
Yeah. It's kind of petty the way they always do that. So I didn't care for that either. Yeah, it's Hollywood. They're chickens. But anyway, Sad Sons. Demi's channel. Jess says, check out The Familiar, available February 3rd. Thank you for that plug. Check out The Familiar. Don't forget to check out the website, GaryPaulVarner.org. That's GaryPaulVarner.org. GaryPaulVarner.org.
You should put where to go to order a book in chat, like a link. Can you do that?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But if you type in GaryPaulVarner.org, it'll probably turn into a link, won't it?
Well, let's find out.
Let's find out.
G.
Only we could take our fumbling with technology and turn it into an ad.
We're adding.
So yeah, I didn't care for the crucifix not working. That annoyed me. One scene I really liked. I told Cody one that I liked. The whole when the women are like, do you not have a heart? And he's like, no, none.
No, I don't.
I love that. I love that moment. And then the other scene I liked was when they fake the vampire girls out by making them think the Frankenstein monster's in one carriage, and then he's in another carriage, and then they put the stakes in there with the nitroglycerin, and so, she gets staked and dies. That was a good scene.
Yeah.
That was a good scene. I like that scene.
That was a very cool weapon.
Yeah. So, is the link thing working, sir?
It's taking me to your Substack. Let's see.
That's .com. There's GaryPaulVarner.com, which is the Substack site where you can read the Star Wars Exiles and my science fiction reviews. I don't know where I'm at on the Substack. Which series am I going over on the Substack ones? Hang on, I can check that out really quick.
I want that newsletter part. Let's see.
Far as the science fiction reviews go, I am currently... Good night. It's not letting me... I think I must be signed out of everything. Of course I am. Hang on a minute. Yeah, I am currently working through A Sound of Thunder. Do you remember that movie, the really cheesy Ray Bradbury? Like, it's a really cheesy movie based off the Ray Bradbury story.
No, I don't.
Cody says, Wolf Den Detailing says, website looks fantastic. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
I shared it.
Trevor put it in. www.garypaulvarner.org. That's www.garypaulvarner.org.
Where you
All
can
right.
order a book.
And if you want to go to www.garypaulvarner.com, you can go to the Substack site. And we are working through A Sound of Thunder on there. And Mind Matters News, we're working through 2001: A Space Odyssey. If you want to go to Mind Matters News, that's where the articles are there. But yeah, they're further ahead, and I'm not a big fan of Kubrick's stuff, unfortunately. So
Why not?
his pacing is terrible. It's just terrible. Like
Is it like my pacing?
no, it's worse, dude. Because no disrespect, I love you, but no, like you have 2 acts of that film with different protagonists that go basically nowhere. And by the time you get to Bowman, who's like, the main guy who has to go fight Hal in the sense, you're like waiting for the movie to switch POVs at any given moment because you've already had 2 POV switches already. So I got 8 articles on that one movie. That's how much I didn't like it. So,
Wow.
Yeah. So
Or
anyway.
how many do you have on Aliens?
Oh my
No,
gosh.
Aliens was a lot.
Oh my gosh. I lost count. It's like one movie had like 3, then another had 4, then another had 5. I think the most I had was 7 articles, like thousands and thousands. Like I could. It's probably enough to fill a novella on how much I didn't like the Aliens franchise. At least those later movies. The worst one was Resurrection. No, it wasn't Resurrection. It was 3. Aliens 3. That is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Didn't we do a review on that one?
I don't know if we did a review on Aliens 3. Maybe we should, because it is terrible. But it's clearly more propaganda basically. So, anywho, back to Van Helsing, because that's the one we're trying to wrap up. So
we forgot about what we're talking about.
Yeah, hang on, let me get my
Hey,
poster
you
up.
see it, it's greatest.
I don't have the poster anymore. So, yeah, I liked the Spike scene. So, and you liked when Van Helsing killed Dracula by biting him in the neck, which is not how you're supposed to kill a vampire, but whatever. So,
Well, fight the power.
fight the power, yeah. So, anyway.
Fight the narrative.
But I enjoy Van Helsing, even though it is, structurally speaking, pretty bad. There's a lot of little things I don't like about it, but it holds your attention. And I miss that swashbuckling adventure type movie. I miss it, man.
Yeah.
Hope to
I
see
wish
more of
they'd
it come
do
back in
more
the
of 'em.
future. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. All right, man, I think we've said enough. It's time to move on to segment 3. So if you are watching this on the live stream, stay with us. We've got one more segment left if you are watching this after the fact. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
On to part 3. You want to lead us in?
What are we talking about?
We're talking about Mike Winger.
Okay. Ready?
I am, sir. Let me get...
Welcome to Faith Fiction and Folklore, or the Try podcast, where we try not to F the podcast up. And today we are going to talk about Mike Winger. Gary, you want to tell us what Mike Winger is talking about?
Yes, so Mike Winger has been on this crusade against the charismatic church. Now, he has said...
Why is he against the charismatic church?
I don't know. Like, he started talking about this, like he's trying to deal with cover-up culture, what he calls cover-up culture. And that's partially true, but, he's mainly talking about the charismatic church when he brings this up. And
what exactly is the charismatic church?
Well, it's like, the speaking in tongues guys, the prophecy guys, Bethel. Brandon Biggs was part of that.
Okay.
Now, he was right on Brandon Biggs. I will eat crow and say Mike Winger was right on Brandon Biggs, and I was wrong, Cody. So...
So people like Daniel Adams, who talks. Have you heard of Daniel Adams?
I have not.
I'll have to show you something of his.
Yeah.
He's he's an apostle type person.
Okay.
He believes in all the spiritual giftings,
Yeah.
and he can speak in tongues and cast out demons and all that. Do healings and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Mike Winger's been going on about the people in the charismatic movement, and I will admit that he was right about Biggs, and I was wrong. I will eat crow and say that. I don't think he was right about Michael Brown, which is surprising to me because I wasn't a fan of Michael Brown, but you know, when I saw his whole thing on Michael Brown, I thought this is ridiculous. So I don't like what he had to say about Michael Brown. I don't think that was fair at all. I think he was fair about Todd White. And so, you know, I think the thing that bothers me a little bit about what he's doing is, sure, it's fine to go after the charismatic church if you don't agree with them, but to sit there and try to like, basically, I think he should have been a little more open about the fact that he was targeting the charismatic church instead of trying to call it cover-up culture, because really, all the denominations are going to do this to an extent. And so to sit there and try to like, I don't know. I don't know if he's trying to obfuscate hide the fact that he was, I don't know if he was trying to hide the fact that he was going after the charismatics because he wanted to reach charismatic people and warn them about these false teachers or something. I don't know exactly what he was thinking, but I don't really care for the way he's framed this whole thing personally. But, he's been right in some instances. I don't think he's been right in all of them. So, but he's got, I think this one is supposed to be kind of his main video on all these guys, broadly speaking, and he just came out with it today, and I haven't watched it all the way through, but I thought we would start watching it and react to it and kind of see, since there's a lot of preachers on his thumbnail, I'm assuming he's going to talk about this whole thing, this whole cover-up culture that he's been describing in a grander sense, so we can kind of have a little better idea of the scope of the problem he's referring to. Does that make sense?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So, okay. So we're going to watch his newest video on the charismatic movement and the charismatic movement's cover-up culture. And we'll see what he has to say. And we will react accordingly. So let us begin.
This video is not for everybody, but it's very important, I think, especially for the charismatic church and for Christians in churches
Were you going to say something, Trevor, or did I?
I was talking to myself.
Oh, okay.
to deal with abuse, fraud, cover-up, and the devastating breadth of it all. Sean Bowles, this guy right here, he was my white rabbit, okay? This guy was my white rabbit. He's the rabbit I chased down the rabbit hole to see how bad things are in cover-up culture inside the charismatic church, the connections to all these different figures and years.
Mm-hmm.
Was he referring to himself as Neo?
I don't know. I think it was just an Alice in Wonderland reference.
Oh, Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Of stuff, generations of abusers, fraud, and cover-up in the charismatic church. Sean Bowles. So you're going to go down the same rabbit hole I went down. This started early last year, and I've spent the last year dealing with and talking to victims and people who've been hurt and gathering evidence. I've talked to many of the people that Sean victimized and spiritually abused. I'm going to be sharing their stories. I have evidence that has never been seen by anybody before. I've gathered that evidence, and I'm going to be sharing it along with witness testimony from multiple people. His victims asked me to speak out on their behalf because the leaders in the charismatic church would not. And they participated, in my opinion, in cover-up culture. But that can change. I'm doing this for the charismatic church. I love you guys. I believe in the gifts. I'll tell you more about that in a second. But buckle up, because we're going to go deep into the rabbit hole, and you need to hear the details, because what happens is when someone like Sean is exposed, everybody just washes their hands of it and acts like they had no part in it. And that's not true. And if we don't show the connections, then we can't fix the problems. So I've
You're,
gathered the evidence
sharing
that
what you're
shows how
doing
cover-up
there.
culture handled
All right,
it
hang on
in the
here.
in the charismatic church. Not only Sean Bowles, but many other
I was
situations.
checking Rumble.
And
I forgot
the-
what I was doing. Sorry.
About Sean Bowles, the elites did, and they did nothing.
Your producer sucks. Just so you know, your producer's terrible. I was checking Rumble
Yeah.
and forgot we were live. I'm an
I looked
idiot.
at the live and I was like, wait, you sure what you're doing?
My bad. I'm a moron. That's okay.
Because I went to listen to it and I was listening to it. And I was like, wait, oops.
Whoops. My bad. Anyway,
Thing as far as warning their people. They left their people in the dark, people who had been prophesied to, people who had been abused. They just left them alone or in the dark. This is going to be a long video. There will be timestamps down below to try to help you navigate things because it will just get crazier and crazier. I will continue to unpack different scenarios, another witness, a different situation, tying it into another leader. This is just the way it's going to be. I hate this video. I hope you hate it too. This is all lame and terrible, and this is not my normal ministry stuff. I don't plan on continuing doing this forever. I just want to help the situation and then move on to back to Bible studies. That's my plan. So this is the story of lying in the name of God, of abusing the people of God, of domineering sexual harassment from Sean Bowles, and not only the failure of respected leaders to warn and protect their own people, their followers, from Sean Bowles, while they had previously propped him up as a prophet to them, but the fact that their system of leadership inside, not every charismatic, most of them would be appalled by the things I'm about to share with you. But there is a system amongst the elites that is dangerous. And their system of leadership, it's in a culture of cover-up, it not only makes it so that they can't deal with someone like Sean Bowles, a predator in their midst, but it actually creates them in the first place. It raises them up. They have a system of revival culture and a way of handling prophecy that I believe creates men like this over and over again, and it's going to keep happening over and over again. So I'm hoping to bring positive reform into the charismatic church. You may not agree with everything I share in this video. Those of you who are charismatics, especially leaders watching this, fine. But glean what you can. Find what you can that is beneficial to you, and please consider how to stop this stuff from happening again inside your own fellowships and to your own people, because it's not worth revival culture to victimize your own people and put them in front of fake prophets and tell them about fake healings and all this other stuff. It has to stop, and it has to stop now. So I think this video will help that. I do believe it. That's why I'm doing it, for the benefit and blessings of the charismatic church. So I'm exposing a whole bunch of corruption inside the charismatic church. It has to be done. Because I've done this series of videos now, and I'll continue with this series for a while, then I'll stop the series, get back to Bible studies, and I will be very happy to do that. Because of that, though, there is going to be slander coming against me personally, because, shoot the messenger kind of thing.
yes, sir.
Do you personally think it is right or wrong to expose this type of teaching?
I think if there's corruption, yes. Like if it's real, if it's really going on, then yeah. I think you've got to. I think he's doing, if he's right about what's happening, then yes, he's right to expose it. Okay. I don't have any issue with them ethically, from an ethical standpoint, doing this. I think it's necessary, and I wish it were done more, because I think this is an issue that's spread throughout a lot of ministries, and more people doing this would go a long way to curtail that. That being said, there's been instances where I feel like he's kind of been, the Todd White stuff was fair, but it wasn't I didn't feel like it was as scandalous as he made it out to be. You know what I mean? I feel like he's at times kind of hit things that are kind of pedantic, that aren't that big a deal. But there's been other times where it's oh yeah, that's a problem. Oh yeah.
Yeah. This person should not be teaching.
Well, his Benny Hinn thing was entirely appropriate. He needed to go after Benny Hinn 110%, and somebody should have done it years ago. So he was absolutely right to go after Benny Hinn. I don't have any, as far as I can remember, I don't have any complaints with how he dealt with Benny Hinn at all.
Okay.
I guess he
Well, that
was in the
answered my
right for
question.
going after Biggs, but I didn't see it at the time because I thought maybe Biggs was legit.
You mean Trump's prophet?
Yeah, Trump's prophet. So anyway, but then on the other hand, he was 100. In my opinion, he was 110% wrong to go after Michael Brown. I thought that was beneath him. I did not appreciate that he did that. And I'm not a fan of Brown. I think I've said that many, many times.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
it's that one wasn't fair. I don't think that one was fair. I don't think that one was right in any capacity. So he's been very strongly in the right and very strongly in the wrong, in my opinion, with this video series that he's done. It's been both. What do you think?
The reason I ask about this type of content is because in the Bible, I don't remember where, but it does talk about exposing your fellow faith person. You first. How's it go? You first.
There's a
talk to them
protocol for dealing with people in the
one-on-one.
church when there's a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, one-on-one, and then if they ignore you, then you take it to their elders.
Right. Yeah.
And then after that, then you expose them to the people.
Yeah.
That's why I ask about it. Do you think doing it this way is right or wrong?
If he's done what he said he's done in the past, he usually tries to reach out to these guys privately. I'm under the impression that he tries to reach out in-house before he does a video like this as a habit.
Yeah, that's why he says he talks to people.
Yeah.
Under the... Okay.
Yeah, so I think he's trying to go through the proper channels first, and then if nothing gets resolved, he'll make a video about it. But in the Michael Brown situation,
he jumped the gun on that one.
He talked to Brown. Brown gave his side of the story, and then I don't remember the dude's name he was talking to, but he went. Then Mike went and listened to the other guy that was saying all these accusations more loudly than the women, I might add. Of course, the women might have been scared. I mean, who knows? But he believed the accuser over Brown's account. And I didn't see a good reason to do that when I watched his video. It just seems like, to be blunt, it felt like an inquisition in Brown's case. It was like, you're guilty, you're guilty, confess. But there was never any real evidence as to why they knew he was guilty. It was like they assumed his guilt. And because he didn't confess to their satisfaction, they made a public video. And so, you've kind of got that kind of, I don't know what you'd call it. They had assumed he was guilty and they weren't satisfied with his version of stuff. They just didn't believe him, even though there was conflicting reports. And some of the details were just, like small, little stuff. Like, I think Brown, Brown was, the stuff that he fessed up to is he was writing out his fantasies of this girl, and she came across them, and the account as to how she came across them differed, which it would make sense. The way that they differed made sense. Brown didn't know how she got it. He just assumed that she was, rummaging through the house because she's bored. Yeah. And then she said that they were writing notes back and forth, and she was going to leave him a note and came across the letter. Now, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I don't know. Wasn't there. Insert disclaimer here. Brown's explanation makes more sense than hers, because why in the world would she leave a letter anywhere where the wife could have found it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That doesn't make sense. So I think it's more likely that she was rummaging around because she was bored, and then she didn't want to admit it, so she came up with the letter story. But even if that's not the case, it's conceivable that Brown might have not put the letter thing together and just assumed she was rummaging through the house. I mean, obviously the girl didn't tell him that was what she did. So he just assumed it, and then she actually was writing him a letter and he didn't put two and two together or something like that. Like, it's easy to see how those two different kinds of stories could have happened. That's not Brown lying, or at least there's not enough proof there to say Brown was lying, and yet Mike Winger was insisting that he was lying. And so stuff like that, I kind of have a problem with, because there needed to be an investigation. There was an investigation. The group that did the investigating sided with Brown. They weren't happy with it. They were calling it cover culture. And really that video was a response to the investigation having an outcome they didn't like, in my opinion. And so the Brown one was bad. I can't say that the others were, like the Todd White one was a little pedantic, but overall true and correct. You know, it was pedantic in places, but not pedantic throughout, if that makes sense. But, and the others, as far as I can remember, again, including the Brandon Biggs one, they were right. They were right. So, so anyway, I don't know how this one's going to go, so I'm a little curious to see, because it's kind of been a little bit of both with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I'm interested, because I think this is kind of a culmination of all the work he's been doing over the past year or so. So I'm a little curious to see what he's concluded. Yeah, where he goes with it.
So I just want to make a couple things really clear. I believe in the gifts. I'm not advocating against the use of the gifts of the Spirit, of prophecy or tongues or any of those things, as long as they're done biblically and properly, which that I'm advocating for, and that does not often happen. I'm making no money from these videos. Right. What I mean here is that the on YouTube, there's no monetization on these videos. All these charismatic, cover up culture videos I'm making, there's zero monetization. So it can make 1 million views. It will not make me any money. The money doesn't go to me anyways. It goes to the ministry, and it doesn't affect my paycheck. I don't get like a ratio raise when there's more ad revenue that comes in. We have minimal ads because that you should on YouTube, or else YouTube doesn't promote your content as much. But this has to be done. And I'm not here to destroy the church. I'd actually like to see Sean repent, and I'd be so happy if any of the people I'm talking about repent, and I will champion them being forgiven and them being seen as cleansed by the Lord if there's real repentance. But the problem is these guys fake it all the time. They fake repentance all the time. So we need proof. Here I'm trying to follow what the Bible tells us to do. In 1 Timothy 5:19-20, it says the first part that the charismatic church is already doing, it says, do not admit a charge against an elder. But they don't read the rest of it usually. It says, except on the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses. As for those who persist in sin, distance yourself from them. No, that's not what it says. Pretend that you have no part in their ministry, or you didn't raise them up. No, that's not what it says. It says, rebuke them in the presence of all, so that the rest may stand in fear. That is, this kind of rebuke, what I'm bringing right now about Sean Bowles, it's meant to cause all of the people, all of the leaders to go, I better walk right. I better not manipulate. I better not fake my prophecies. I better not exaggerate my spiritual experiences. I better not do any of that stuff. And we need that kind of reform in the charismatic church. Big time. Okay. Let's go down the rabbit hole.
Sweet Baby Bronson says, how you guys doing this beautiful night? We're doing well. Doing well. We got a little bit of an energy, a little pep in our step tonight.
Thank you.
So, how are you? I trust you. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. I'm particularly happy that we managed to get that Rumble stream up. That makes me a happy boy.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Is it still rolling?
It's still rolling. Somehow, nothing's messed up. It's great. So,
is there any commentators over there?
No. Of course, can't switch over right now because I'm producing the video. Otherwise, we'll have the same mess up as before. All right.
Can't be any worse than my productions.
No, I have plenty far to fall, believe me.
Sean Bowles. This is the guy, Sean Bowles. He's the guy that hears from God or pretends to hear from God, no matter who it hurts. Sean doesn't come off like a highbrow prophet, though. He was like the boy wonder. I'll tell you more about this. I'll tell you more about everything. It's all coming out today. Text messages, secret recording, multiple witnesses. It's all coming out. It's all coming out. I've been sitting on this stuff for a while now, and it's time. So he doesn't come off like a highbrow prophet. Sean comes off like a normal dude.
Sweet Baby Bronson says, I'm chilling. Haha. Sounds good, man. Awesome.
Chilling like a feeling.
Dude. But he's one who's literally getting revelation from God on a continual basis. That's the thing. I'm just a normal guy, but man, he hears from God. He can tell you without ever meeting you. He will tell you your birthday, your street address, how many kids you have, the name of your pet, where your mom lives, and other private information. He'll tell you about things that you've done recently or hopes that you have in your heart. And he says it's all coming from God. He's like, I've never met you, but I know your number, but I know your name, the Lord showed me the name of your dog. It's Maverick. I know it. And you go, and you think, wow, he's really speaking to me. God's speaking to me. So he convinced through this, what is ultimately a gimmick, he convinced countless people that he was a prophet. This was especially true when Bill Johnson platformed him at Azusa Now. This platforming was a big deal.
Sweet Baby Bronson.
Here, let me show it to you.
Sweet Baby Bronson asks, who is Turtle Chief? LOL. Turtle Chief is Trevor. Yeah. It's his nickname. Yep. So he goes by, what's your video game handle, I believe, for Call of Duty or something?
That's my gaming handle.
Ah.
Turtle Chief.
Yeah, see, he games. I don't, because I'm a nerd. So.
At this event in 2016, this is where Bill Johnson that's Bill Johnson on stage there with Sean Bowles in front of countless people in this stadium and probably millions who saw it online. This event was a big thing. He gets up there and he starts calling people out. We'll look at some videos of this later. Calling people out in the audience. He calls out a name. He tells them their life story. He tells them God's calling them to be a missionary to this place and go here. And it was just an amazing, amazing event. Look at how Bill introduced him, because I want us to understand that Bill Johnson has responsibility for Sean Bowles.
But we're also weaving in the...
So, Sweet Baby Bronson says, oh, cool, LOL. You have anything to add to that conversation, Mr. Trevor?
You're cool.
You're cool.
Your whole family's cool.
Well, there you go. That ain't saying much since we're cousins, but anyway.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Prophetic. And one of our dearest friends, one of our most trusted friends, is Sean Bowles. And the Lord's shown him several things.
That's how he got introduced. Why? Because people know and trust Bill Johnson. Bill Johnson is one of the most respected leaders in the charismatic church right now. He is seen as a safe man, a man who is gentle, who is incredibly loving, who never says a bad word about anybody. This is his reputation. Like you'll never hear him say a bad word about a single human being in his entire life. Which of course makes it so that his congregation would think a video like what I'm doing is inherently wrong because Bill's such a nice guy. So it's an interesting method of self-protection, if you ask me. But Bill introduces him this way.
See, that's one thing I don't like about Mike Winger, is he sits there and he infers these kind of motives, and I don't think he's very fair a lot of the time. Because it's like, well, he's such a nice guy. It must be a cover.
Oh.
Like, come on, guy. Come on. Maybe he just believes it. I mean, like he's
rather nervous about this.
Well, I feel like he hides his contempt. I think he has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder about the charismatic movement. I mean, I have no loyalty. I have no loyalty to it either. I don't know much about it, frankly. I went to a charismatic church for a while. That was years ago. But, I think he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and he tries to hide it, but it kind of leaks out from time to time. Yeah. And, I mean, I'm sorry, but it's like, dude, come on. Maybe he's just a nice guy who's wrong. You don't know if it's a cover. Don't say stuff like that, man. In my opinion. Oh, what do you think?
I think there's missing context. I kind of want to get into it more before I make a final decision.
Well, we will do that.
Now, at the same time, it was not too long after this where Chris Valentin, his number 2 guy at Bethel, was texting one of their one of the victims of Sean Bowles, and he told him and showed him the following. Let me put it on your screen. This was in January 9th of 2021. He says, I told him, Sean Bowles, he needs to clean up his mess before he has a relationship with any of our people. I've also told our entire team that they are not to not minister with Sean or have him in any of their ministries. I've also had a conversation with Bethel Music leadership team and told them about Sean's situation. They've agreed to ban him from their ministry. I'm going to show you more of that text conversation later on in this video, but this is what has gone on. There has been the endorsement, then there was the distancing privately, but yet in 2023, Bill Johnson goes public again, and they've never, at this point in the timeline, they never made a public statement about Sean Bowles being any kind of problem. But in 2023, Bill Johnson goes with Sean Bowles on TBN, and he says the following about Sean.
But Bill, you wrote the foreword to this book. It's called Translating God, Hearing God's Voice for Yourself and the world around you. But you wrote that this was one of the most exciting books that you had read. Why was that?
Well, the book by itself is incredible. Knowing the life that backs it up adds a power to it because it's so practical. It's what you dream of. It's like if you could have a perfect relationship with the Lord and see its impact on humanity, that's what it would look like. I get excited knowing that we could actually raise up generations of people to do the same thing.
We'll go all the way into the rabbit hole today, but Bill endorsing him like this, you will see very clearly, was an atrocious and evil act. Atrocious and evil.
Yeah, okay, why? Like, I guess
why?
he said he's going to go into a second, but I'm already starting to get my hair prickled up on the back of my neck. Again, I haven't watched this far, so I haven't prepared my statement here, but already I'm seeing we've already canceled them. Okay, number one, anytime somebody says the word canceled, I immediately go, oh, well, I know what team you play for, and I instantly don't trust you. You know what I mean?
What team does he play for?
The commies.
Oh.
The commies. And if somebody uses the word cancel like it's a good thing, yeah, prepare for a struggle session. So, anyway, so I'm already like suspicious because that word was used. And I'm sitting here going, I've told Mike. He's sitting there going, I've told our team to have nothing to do with him. And he has all this like salacious text in a message, but he hasn't told you what the guy did or why they're that upset. He's given no context. This is just insinuation.
No context at this point.
This is insinuation. This is meant, or at least it looks like it's meant to make you go, oh, he must be really bad. They're awfully upset. And like, yeah, or the word canceled suggests feigned outrage.
Or just straight up calling them evil. It's
Yeah.
like, well,
Did he do
a
some...
lot of people have done bad things, but they thought they were doing good. That doesn't make them evil. They just messed up.
Well, you don't know. It's like, okay, did he rob a bank or did he keep his church open during COVID? I mean, you don't know what he did. Good night. I don't like it when people stuff. And he's like, oh, this is a really evil act. And it's like, okay, well, you gotta tell us what the act is before you start saying this stuff, because it looks like you're just trying to make him look really, really bad. And you're gonna, after hyping it up for 10 minutes, you're gonna say something kind of not that big a deal.
Bring it all together.
Something as pedantic as he met with a woman alone in a Walmart parking lot.
Yeah.
You know,
because he slept in the same house as a homeless woman.
Yeah, or something that looks bad that may or may not be bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, Sweet Baby Bronson says, it's 60 degrees out here right now. That sounds nice. It is 16 here.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm inside shivering.
Are you really?
Yeah, because where I'm at in this office, there's no central heating in there.
Oh.
So the floor is actually really cold right now.
See, I got a heater plugged up and it's blowing hot air right on my calves or on my shins. So,
I should probably do that next time.
That's how I stay warm, is I just have a heater blowing hot air on me, and it kind of levels everything out when it gets cold. But anyway, so all right, moving on.
He set him up as a prophet to the world. He later had Chris Valentin, under his ultimate leadership, calling Sean's board, going, he needs to be pulled out of ministry. He cannot do any events with us. He can't be anywhere near our team. But publicly, they wouldn't say a word about him. And when they were asked about it, they made it sound like it was sort of nebulous and who knows what's really wrong with this guy. Then Bill goes and endorses him.
Well, the book by itself is incredible. Knowing the life that backs it up adds a...
California.
Oh, W2F. Damn, I'm in Southern California. Yeah. That sounds nice. Yeah, I'm Missouri. Missouri's always cold.
Oklahoma.
Yeah. So, oh well. What are you going to do?
A power to it. If you could have a perfect relationship with the Lord and see its impact on humanity, that's what it would look like.
What we find out, though, is that victims of Sean had reached out to Bethel leadership and asked them for help, and ultimately they decided, not our problem. And here's the thing. Pastors have to protect their people. If in my church somebody was targeting the flock there that I'm part of, I would feel the obligation to protect them, especially if you're the leader. You're the pastor. You're the supposed prophet. Chris is supposed to be the prophet of Bethel. Yet he's not protecting his people. His reputation is one of prophetic integrity. It's not real. Bill's reputation is one of safety. It's not real. And it needs to be exposed because it's a broader problem that goes bigger than Bethel, even though Bethel's really big. They're one of the most influential charismatic churches on the planet as far as other people taking their lead, learning their practices, and trying to copy them. Which I find to be a hazardous path. So, in 2022, right, a year approximately, not even quite a year before Bill Johnson goes and publicly endorses Sean Bowles again on TBN, I have a secretly recorded conversation where Stacey Campbell, another one of the prophetesses in the charismatic movement, is giving a list of all the people in the leadership who know about Sean and how dangerous Sean is.
Bowles is utterly and totally dangerous. Patricia King, who told Che and who told Chris Valentin, told these gross stories of sexual immorality of Sean Bowles. I know this from Chris's direct mouth. He said, as far as I'm concerned, Sean Bowles is a deceiver, and I will not have him back or trust him. And so I'm concerned for you because I love you. I'm giving you the warning that he's dangerous, his behavior is bad, he's been caught red-handed, and he's unrepentant. He's not only dangerous for the body of Christ, that a lot of times the people that affiliate with him go down when they go down. Every single bit of information that Sean prophesied, you could find it on page 1 or page 2. If you just Googled, you could find the whole thing. And there was nothing that Sean was prophesying that was from unknown revelation. It was only on. And so he sent me a document, probably 20 pages long. This is what Sean said. This is on the front page of their Facebook pages. This is on the second page. If you Google the person that is their son, that you find out, it was all there, and it was highly incriminating. And in a court of law,
I'm going to play that recording for you later. This is a very, very big deal because if they all knew and they wouldn't tell you guys, it uncovers something real about the fact that what else do they know? Who else do they know about? Because I'll tell you that I could give you a list of names of people who should be publicly called out and who, when leaders knew, didn't do it. They didn't do it with Todd Bentley when they should have done it. They didn't do it with Bob Hartley when they should have done it. They didn't properly do it with Paul Cain or Mike Bickle. Or I could just keep going on, or William Branham, if you want to go really back to people who died before I was born, It's been going on for a long time. So, if Bill would endorse Sean.
Okay, we're going to take a moment here. I know people out there, too, from YouTube. Sweet, man. Sweet. Maybe you can tell us something about this whole short business that's going on. But anyway.
What short business?
The fact that the shorts are like getting a bunch of AI channels coming on, flooding shorts onto the channels,
Shorts are
wreaking
taking
havoc.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The AI channels and all this. Anyway, so I'm a little skeptical about the sexual immorality thing because
Yeah,
vague.
that phone call was extremely cut into
Yeah.
tiny pieces, and it seems like he took it and, I don't know, frankly, to me, it sounded like a fake phone call. Really.
Well, I don't know if it was fake, but he certainly heavily edited it. But my gut is going, okay, what sexual immorality? What happened? Again, I don't like it when they're. I mean, that could. Churches don't even agree on what sexual immorality is 50% of the time. I mean, what is that? What are you talking about?
Some of them simply holding somebody's hand is sexually immoral.
Now, the second part of that was legitimate. It's like, okay, well, everything that he's prophesied you could find out on Facebook. It's like, okay, so what did he do? Did he, like, have plants in the audience and read their Facebook page? Like, is he memorizing everybody's Facebook page? Like, okay, so he can...
doing that.
I don't know anything about it. Like, so elaborate. What happens?
Let's say a prophetic person is up on stage, and they're about to prophesy in the name of the Lord. Well, he's got a little earpiece hooked up, you know.
Oh.
And in the background, behind somewhere where like you don't see these people, there's a whole group of people on their computers. And they're doing facial recognition, or you know, they've already had these people sign visitation papers or some sort of something to get their name somehow. And so they look them up on Facebook or whatever, and they get what information they can. Some of them even go as far as they have like those background check websites. They'll background check people as they're prophesying over them.
I did not know that. That is fascinating.
They'll get fed this information, which is true, as they're prophesying, and then they tell these people that they have just met about their life.
That's interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's been been outed like that for a long time.
So that's possibly what she was talking about.
Yeah.
My point is, one accusation was specific and would warrant investigation. The other, it's like, to be blunt, it just kind of strikes me as gossip. Like, I would have to know more. And, I mean, we don't know yet. And that's kind of... I might be being too picky, but I'm kind of wishing he would lead with what exactly the accusations are, then make his case. Instead, he's doing this thing where he's like building up how bad they are, and then slowly leaking what they did, which kind of, I don't know, that just strikes me as suspicious. I can't help it.
How far into the video is it?
We are 15 minutes in, sir.
So we're 15 minutes in, and we just found out that he did something sexually immoral.
But we don't know what that was.
We don't even know what it was.
And we know that he's looking up information on Facebook about people. And we can be nice and say he was probably like being fed that information in real time or something. Like, we'll go ahead and take a deductive leap and giving Mike Winger something of a benefit of the doubt, even though he hasn't explained it yet, which is suspicious. And we're not going to permanently give that benefit of the doubt. But just so we have a narrative to start with, we'll say he might have been being fed Facebook information in real time and calling it prophecy.
Yeah.
We'll say something like that must have been going on. Although we don't know that because Mike hasn't explained it.
Right.
So, but he might explain it here in a few minutes. We'll see. We'll give this another couple minutes before we call it a night.
Who else would he endorse while overlooking serious issues? Who else would he put up as an incredible, the life behind the book is just, it bears witness and all this kind of garbage, which is not true. I have even spoken to some of the leaders in the movement, and they told me, one of them in particular, I won't give his name, but a leader in the charismatic movement who told me, Mike, if we really start calling out all the guys that we know are doing like, you not just have sin issues. I want to be gracious to leaders who have sin issues. because we all do, and so do I. But I mean people who are like, they're defrauding the people of God. They're lying in the name of God. Because if we were to call them all out, it would devastate. It would devastate our movement. We'll do it. Call them out. You have to. All of you have to do it. Stop making people who aren't even part of your movement do it. Do it yourselves. That will bring integrity back to your movement. This video, though, today's video is dedicated ultimately to the victim.
Which is kind of what we're doing right now. We're trying to figure out who we should call out, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if these accusations are even legitimate. Like, some have been, some haven't. And it's kind of the frustrating thing. It's like, you know, when this whole thing Mike Winger's been doing started, like with the Benny Hinn stuff, I was like totally in his camp. Like, Benny Hinn needed to be called out. He needed to be called out for years. I was wanting somebody to call him out in 2010. I didn't have the technical prowess to do all this at that point, but you know.
Yeah.
You know, he's been a thorn in Christianity's side for forever. So I was very happy when Winger came out against him. I just, as this has gone on, it just seems like there's more and more reaching. You know, but I mean, again, we're 15 minutes into a 5-hour video. You know. So I mean, who knows?
This for 3 nights.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I just because I want to know, because sometimes he does good work and sometimes he doesn't, in my opinion. But anyway, we'll give this a couple more minutes and then we'll call it a night.
Victims of Sean Bowles, the many victims of Sean Bowles. I've talked to 3 different people who had marriages that they entered into because Sean prophesied to them to get married. Even though they say they don't do that sort of thing, apparently it happens a lot. And they were disasters. So they got married because of a prophecy, and it exploded in their faces, including one named Jubilee Dawn. Let's listen to her story now so you can get an idea of the people that I care about right now. Because I for priority of who is more to be cared for, loved, and protected right now, it is not Sean Bowles. It is Jubilee Dawn. So we're going to look into what Jubilee Dawn says here. This is going to be her story. It's in detail. She got married because Sean Bowles. She believed in Sean Bowles because of Bill Johnson, and she almost was killed by her husband. That Sean Bowles said God was giving her to that man.
I'm going to tell you about how it directly impacted my life and almost killed me. In 2015, I was dating a man, let's call him Ted, and we had only been dating for about a month. So this church conference happened, and I am still getting to know this guy. He was 10 years older than me. It's a long story, but essentially at this conference, my ex was called out by Sean Bowles, and I'm going to play that clip for you now.
When you handed me the phone last night, I saw 50, but I know that 50 is Jubilee year. There's something about God's giving you a Jubilee. What does that mean to you? Oh, your girlfriend's name is Jubilee. That's awesome. Well, God's giving you this girl. And when we ordered the food this morning, by the way.
So he starts off by, God's giving you a Jubilee. Well, he always acts shocked. You're going to see this many times. He always likes to act surprised. I don't believe a single one of these prophecies came from God. I think he's been data mining for years and years and years and years. I think he learned it from Paul Cain and Bob Jones and the other guys who did it before him. And that's my theory. Now, not everybody agrees with me. Not even everybody I've talked to agrees.
Okay, so he's speculating about the data mining thing, which is what you were talking about.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So this is a widespread thing, clearly.
Have you ever been to a church and they hand out these little pamphlets, like visitor pamphlets that they have you fill out?
Yeah.
You write your name and your email and anything else that might be a little personal.
Right.
And like your phone number.
Yeah.
Well, they'll put that in their database, and then if they see you again, and they have information on you, they'll prophesy.
Interesting.
So that's probably how he came up with at least 2 are dating, because she posted
something online
on Facebook. Hey, I'm dating this person.
Gotcha.
And he's like, hey, this couple looks promising. Let's prophesy over them.
That's fascinating. Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we're going to continue this, but not tonight, or at least not live tonight. So,
not alive tonight.
Yeah, not alive tonight. So we're gonna call it a night. Unless you got any other final thoughts?
Nope.
I don't
Still
either.
missing context.
Well, I think he's starting to get into it. I wish he'd led with it, but we're starting to get into it. So we're gonna see where this goes. We're not gonna quit. I'm gonna try to make it a point to not quit halfway through these videos like we've done in the past. So we'll try to react to the whole thing, even if it takes us like a billion weeks to do it.
That's fine.
We might have to make it transformative or whatever. I don't know, but yeah.
Stay
But
up all night.
I'm curious. Yeah, stay up all night. I'm gonna do that anyway. So I have a cigar to smoke. Dad, blame it. So
I'd have to go make another full pot of coffee.
all right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up, guys. One more ad. The Familiar, my book. Buy it. I want money. So
We're in chat again.
So that's all we got. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate your time. Sweet Baby Bronson, thank you for interacting with us in the chat. We enjoyed having you. And until next week, well, we'll see you then.
Bye.